Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Trade, Industry, Regional Integration and Employment. Now, earlier this year, the Kingdom of Spain and the government of the Gambia signed an agreement to reinforce safe and regular migration channels and protect workers' rights. It's led to an immediate pressure on the Gambia Immigration Department because everybody is rushing, apparently, to get a passport. Lamin, welcome to West Coast Radio.
Thank you, Peter.
I was very disappointed to hear that you asked your way to the studio. You should have known this place months ago. Anyway, good to have you. Bring us up to speed. It's not only with Spain that we have this circular migration agreement. We have a similar thing with Saudi Arabia and UAE, haven't we?
Yes. Thank you, Peter, and good morning to the listeners. And thank you for inviting me here to make certain clarifications. I think that is very important. As you said, we have seen an upsurge in the interest of Gambians in the Spanish circular migration, and we have seen certain things happening, certain information, circulating around. Every day we'll receive messages from different people. People are recruiting, people are paying. The first batch has even left. All these things are not true. We have not launched in a single recruitment agency to recruit workers for Spain. We have not launched in anyone.
For Spain,
yes.
Nobody has been given the okay to start recruiting.
Yes. What we have done so far, we tried to complete the legal process. The cabinet the cabinet endorsed the agreement. The minister presented it to the National Assembly. It is ratified. And we're just waiting for the instrument to share with the government of Spain. And we also in discussions with the government of Spain in terms of the procedures, because this agreement is different from that of Saudi and UAE, because this is mainly going to be implemented by government, and no private individual will be involved.
Okay, let's stay with the Spanish agreement. There are people who have evidence that people who are supposedly cleared by the Ministry of Trade, Industry, Regional Integration and Employment, MOTAI, to recruit workers for Spain had actually started asking for money and issuing receipts, in the amounts paid. And these are astronomical amounts.
Yes, Peter, this is not true. We have not registered any agency to recruit workers for Spain. We've also had the same allegation, and we are inviting the public to share their evidence with us. That's what we want, because the police, we've already written to the Inspector General of Police to carry out the investigation, and the police are already investigating these cases. Then if anyone, beside the police or within the public that has evidence, let them share the evidence with the ministry or share it with the police, so that those who are doing that, we can bring them to book.
So if I were to forward you, for instance, the evidence that I have or the alleged evidence that I have, what's the next step the ministry takes?
Now, if you send us the evidence, we share it with the police, because the police is already carrying out the investigation. We are not police. they are doing what they are paid to do, just to do the investigation, and we are sharing whatever evidence we have, with them, so that and we are very much in contact with them, so that they can speed up the investigation. But that is very important for us, to be able to regain public confidence.
Okay.
Yeah.
So even when the recruitment starts, the people who will be going to Spain, as one texter asked, what will they be doing, in what areas will they be working in Spain?
No, correct. Currently, our interactions with the Spanish government, this is mainly in the agricultural sector. People that are going there, they will be working in the agricultural sector. We have to remember that Spain is an agrarian economy. They have a very vast and well-developed agricultural sector, and this is not anything new. Spain have this with a number of African countries, including Senegal. Although recently we heard that they have the Senegalese one has a problem, but they have these they call them seasonal workers. They go there during the harvesting period, and they have different harvesting period. Then you go there for 6 months, you come back. Then anytime there is a new harvest, then then they will call you. You go back, up to a period of time. Then you can be given residence to stay, with your family.
So the period is 6 months.
Yeah, because the harvesting period is usually 6 months.
Okay.
It's because they are seasonal workers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And what are other conditions?
Currently, we are waiting for them to share the conditions and the criteria with us.
This may not start in 2025 then.
No, we
Sorry,
are,
in 2024 I meant to say.
Yeah, we are expecting, based on our interactions with them, maybe the first batch will leave somewhere in January, because there are a lot of work that we need to do with them, because they're also waiting for the list of workers, from the farming communities that they would want from the Gambia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because they cannot just also say, let the Gambians come. No, there must be a job for Gambians that are going there. Then they are expecting this list of job vacancies from their farmers, and they will share that with us.
Okay.
Yeah, and other requirements that that Gambians must meet, before going.
Okay. Yeah. So what are you waiting for in order to start recruiting recruitment agents or agencies?
No, this scheme, there will not be any private recruitment agency.
Okay.
There will not be any.
Government will execute this one.
This one is purely government.
Through which department?
No, we have Department of Labor. They have a unit called Public Employment Service. We also have a multi-stakeholder technical committee, that will be supporting, working very closely with the department in the recruitment process. And this is just at the the pre-selection point, because after that, all the applications that have been selected, the ministry and the other ministry of Spain, the sister ministry of Spain, and will also be involved in the final selection. This is how the scheme is designed. The employers will be involved in the final selection. Then it goes through a process. You have a pre-selection period phase, and you have the final selection phase. In the final selection phase, the government of Spain will be involved. That's the ministry, the equivalent ministry of our Ministry of Labor, and the employers will be involved. Yes.
Is there an age limit? Can I apply to go and work in Spain with my 62 years?
No, for now we have not got anything like that for now. Then we are waiting for them, for them to share those requirements with us. Yes. Okay. And that's why we are saying that it has not yet started.
Okay.
Yes.
Can the PS clarify the circular from Ministry of Trade about certain agencies assigned to recruit? That communication has an official stamp of the ministry.
No, that was an error. That communication was only meant to cover Saudi. Spain was involved, and that was an error. And that was why we made a press release, after that. I think our press release, you should be able to access it. That was an error, and we did the press release to correct that error. Because Spain has not started, and we have not launched in any one of them, to be involved in the recruitment of Gambian workers for Spain. Yes.
Okay, because somebody has just texted in from outside the country. Good morning, Peter. It is difficult to believe that the government did not license any recruitment agencies. We have seen in social media a list of licensed agencies. This was on the government letterhead and signed by the Director of Employment.
Yeah, no, that is true, but that's what I'm trying to clarify. Is that is an error, and we apologize. Yeah, we really apologize for that error. Yes.
Let's talk about Saudi Arabia and United Arab Emirates, because these may be more controversial than even the Spain. The Spain, we might have only jumped the gun, but people have no problem going to Spain. But some of the securities that people want to hear about people being sent to, Saudi Arabia and UAE, especially girls, women, what guarantees, are there that when our women are sent to these two countries, they won't be abused, as we hear women are abused in those countries?
Yes, for UAE, we have not started yet. We have signed the agreement, it's been ratified, we send them the instrument of ratification, and we are waiting for them. The one that is on, and the agencies have already started the recruitment process, that's the Saudi. And the Saudi one, the way it's designed, is recruitment agencies, has to be licensed by the minister, as based on our Labor Act. Only the licensed recruitment agencies will be involved. And there is a whole entire process that they have to go through before they can be.
Well, it's already on, so
Yes,
some
yes.
have been licensed.
Yes,
So
we
let's
have a
talk.
number of-
Let's talk about those that have been licensed.
Yeah, we have a number of them. Like yesterday, we got information from the GAM jobs. Because they have an online recruitment system.
GAM jobs.
Yeah, GAM jobs. They have, they are very organized. They have an online recruitment system, and so far they have gotten about over 8,000 applications.
Oh wow.
For Saudi. And now they are going. We have to join them to go through that process. That is something also very important, because in Saudi they have what they call Moset. It's an electronic system that you have to register. Even the recruitment agency has to be registered with them first, and and any applications that you have, also have to go through that process, and the screening process has to be jointly done, with them, to ensure that the criteria that they have shared with us, then anyone that is going to be recruited has to meet those criteria before you can be licensed to live and work in Saudi. And if you look at the agreement, this is the first time we have such an agreement with Saudi, and this is to allow Gambians to work in Saudi legally, because we have number of Gambians that are there before this agreement, and we have number of Gambians that are still going there to work there. But going through this agreement will protect you. But the agreement is very clear. It has
How does going through this agreement protect the Gambian woman? That's what we want to.
Yes,
to
because the legal provisions are saying that the Saudi government has a responsibility. There's number of provisions in that agreement that the Saudi government has to adhere to that.
For example.
Yes, one is the right and welfare of the workers must be protected by the Saudi government. That is one of the key provisions of the agreement. Must be protected.
And you think that's enough?
And once, and also is
Because what constitutes your rights? What constitutes, my rights? I mean, these are subjective.
no, it's based on the Saudi law.
The Saudis may think, well, if you live with this family and they provide food for you and accommodation, and they give you an allowance at the end of every month, you should do whatever they want.
No, it's not like that. And there is a mechanism where domestic workers that are recruited, they can be able to complain whenever their rights are violated, and that's the first time we have that. Then and this is 24-hour service. It's like a hotline. If you are being abused in anywhere you are, then you can be able to report that. And this, the moment you report it, there will be a response immediately. Either the police, moving in, trying to understand what are those violations and be able to protect you. And also what we have, the government of the Gambia will also be on the watch, because we have the embassy, our embassy in Saudi. We have a mission in Saudi. We have a full embassy in Saudi, and they are also part of this process. Then any abuse that we are notified, then the government will also act, based on the agreements that we have with them. The legal provisions are very clear. Legal provisions are very protective of the workers as well as the employers. Then for any abuse, we should be able to act to be able to redress those violations. Yes.
Let me read another text message for you. How does the Trade Ministry feel about not creating jobs in the country, but asking people to go out and work? The jobs they will be doing there, can't they do these here? And, does government create any jobs?
No, but this is not anything new. people move from country to country to go and work. There is no way that you can, at this moment of our development, we can be able to create employment for every Gambian. It's not possible. One out of 1,000 countries in the world, that you will not find, only few countries around the world where you can find employment is zero, unemployment is zero. It is not possible. Employment is also part of development, development process. It depends on your level of development, and this is not new, in the development field. There is no country in Africa, not even in West Africa, in Africa today, that will tell you that I have unemployment free. Then this is also an employment opportunity. But this is why the government moves in to ensure that you create such avenue so that Gambians can be employed and they can be able to earn a living, both at home and abroad. We have seen Gambians working in the West, not only in the Middle East or in the Gulf region, but all over the world. That's how in the economy of the world works. Mm-hmm. Yes.
I suppose somebody is not satisfied with your explanation of the agreement with Spain.
Okay.
You keep saying, modalities are still being worked out.
Yes.
The Spanish embassy here is waiting for the number of potential employers, in Spain who might require what number of employees from the Gambia. So this texter says, "Good morning, Peter. It seems like our government does not have connections. I can tell you that you may hear another story before the end of the week, different from his story."
In fact, I have a meeting with the Spanish, the lady here, the councillor. Mm-hmm. Yes, I'll meet her at 12 o'clock in my office, mm-hmm. because she's just been to Spain recently. Mm-hmm. Probably she has good news for us. Then we'll give you more detail after that meeting.
Good news would be, you can start recruiting.
Yeah, then we are expecting probably some of the information that we were waiting for. She might be, giving that to us. But what we are saying is that scheme has not started.
I understand she was miffed, angry, when all these stories were circulating on social media with receipts apparently proving that, some agencies were already recruiting and taking money from people for a venture that is supposed to be free of charge to every Gambian who can prove that they are Gambian and have a passport to present.
Yes, she is angry, and she has right to be angry. Because if the name of your country is being abused everywhere, you have right to be angry, because we are here to represent them. But we assure her that we are working according to the agreement. We are not going to do anything outside the agreement, because that's what government has accepted. The provisions of the agreement has been accepted by government, and this was ratified by our National Assembly. Then we have to work within the agreement, and we are not recruiting any agencies to do that.
And if she was angry, what about the minister, Babukar Usmaila Juf, my good Raka? It was under his watch that these deals were struck, and he was very proud to talk about them in the media.
Yes, the minister was also very angry. He's still very angry, because that is not his intention. He doesn't want any Gambians to pay for anything, like this. That's supposed to be free, because this is based on the principle of fair treatment and accountability. We don't want anybody to be disqualified because of payment. And that's why it's 100% free.
And that's going to bring me back to the question of what will the ministry do now specifically to get those people who've been scammed? Somebody comes with a receipt, a bona fide receipt, proving that Peter's recruitment agency illegally took 50,000 from them.
Yes, but Peter, I think I've said that.
How do you help the person get back their money?
Yes,
you just don't hand it over to the police. They want their money back.
No, but that's the job of the police. That is not my job as a permanent secretary. My job is to, if you share that evidence with me, I share the evidence with the police to ensure that the police investigate.
Okay, ensure. So you will help ensure that
the police investigate. And police are already investigating. And whoever is found guilty, the law will take its course. Because we all have our responsibilities. That's why we have the police.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, all right. Well, listen, we're running out of time, and yeah, we have other stuff to do. So about these three different agreements, we're still waiting to hear from the United Arab Emirates.
Yes.
What is keeping them? Why are they taking so long to come back to Banjul?
No. We've just shared the instruments with them because they were the one pushing to ensure that.
So you have different instruments for the different countries.
No, because these are different agreements.
Okay.
When the agreement.
So
is,
for Spain, it's agriculture based.
Yeah,
For Saudi Arabia, it's what?
No, Saudi
domestic work.
No, Saudi for start is domestic.
Okay.
Because we've had a meeting with them. I was in Saudi recently with my minister. We had a meeting with their ministry, and what they told us, the way they implement the scheme, they start with the domestic workers. Then as the implementation progresses, then they look at other areas.
Like broadcasting, I would like to put in an application.
Not for you. We don't want to lose you. Then for UAE also, we are expecting to have a similar arrangement with them, just like that of Saudi. You have domestic workers, then you can move on to others. This is just to be able to ensure that both parties are comfortable, in the implementation of the agreement. Like one of the cases that they cited while we were there with them was Morocco. Now currently they have over 20,000 Moroccans that are working there.
Okay, yeah. I'll read you this text message.
Yes.
Uncle Peter, the problem of this country is the technocrats and not politicians. We expect them to act based on data, but they instead promote agendas blindly. Countries do ask for this type of bilateral agreement, but failed government export their human resources. The question again, what jobs did this government create for the youths of this country? And, let me link it with this question. I mean, 3 years ago, yes, there was this 150 jobs declaration, 150,000 jobs declaration over 5 years. Yes. In principle, 30,000 jobs per year. How many jobs have been created since that enunciation?
Yeah, Peter, the challenge that we have is we are still working on the mechanism of so that we can be able to capture every job created in this country. This is not an easy job. So you
are suggesting that jobs have been created?
Jobs have been created. Jobs have been created. If you read the recent UNTAD report, we have over $247 million investment in this country by foreign investors. You cannot invest that money and there is no job created. It's not possible. We have created jobs since then.
But they say it's very easy to invest in this country because we are so reliant on debt. You just bring your money and you lend it to the central bank.
No,
and make your
that
profit.
Is treasury. That's investment in treasury bills.
That's what I'm saying. No, they're even saying most of these banks are just investing in treasury bills.
No, we have. If you look at the investment trend in this country, we have seen an increasing trend in investment in the manufacturing sector. We are also seeing an increasing trend in investment in commercial agriculture. These are facts. Currently we have three major companies that are producing onion in this country, and we all know agriculture is an intensive labor base, and we have seen that over the last 3 years, and we have also seen an increase also in the service sector, Then if you are saying that jobs are not created, that is not.
No, I'm not saying jobs. I'm simply saying of the 150,000 jobs promised 3 years ago, how many have been created?
Yeah, because I don't want to sit here and give you a false statistics. I want to give you a statistics that is accurate. And also, what we also have to remember is that this country is largely an informal sector. An informal economy, sometimes some of those jobs created is difficult to capture. But we are doing everything possible to ensure that we have a system that we can be able to capture anytime a job is created in this country. That's what we are doing. Yes.
Before you, the minister sat there and he was talking about salaries going up at the beginning of 2025 to deal with the rising cost of living. What is being done about, this galloping cost of living crisis?
Peter, we are part of the global economy. Gambia is not an isolated society. We are part of the global economy. We all know what is happening, globally. There is a global crisis, although countries are recovering, not at the same pace. But we all know, you just had the environment minister talking. You know, we have the global, there is the geopolitics, you know, it's not favoring the global economy. And we still have these challenges, you know, affecting most of the developing countries, particularly in Africa, because we are basically net importing countries. If you import, you know, commodities, you cannot fix that price, you know, because that price depends on your cost of importation, you know, into your economy, and that's what determines, you know, the prices to the consumers. And we all know that the global currency for global business is dollar, and we still have a challenge, you know, in terms of the appreciation of dollar in this country, and all those things, you know, affect, you know, the end price of goods that goes to the consumers. We've seen government is doing everything possible to make sure that, you know, some of those costs are not, we don't have a full, you know, pass through to consumers, but it is not easy unless we are able to increase our production. There are certain issues will be very difficult for us to easily deal with them like that, you know, like what you said. You see, you know, everybody wants to travel. You know, nobody wants to work also. You know, yeah. And that is also very important. Because like some of us who studied outside, you leave this country, you go to UK to study. There are jobs that you do in UK that you don't want to do here. That is, and that's what is happening. Then people going to Saudi, they can do that job in Saudi, but they don't want to do it here. You know, because in Saudi, you know, at the end of the day, that income gives you a better, you know, income than if you want to do that here. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Lamin, thank you very much for your time. Any, you know, final message you might have?
My final message is the Spain agreement has not yet started, and when it starts, we'll make sure the public is aware.
And the important thing is,
yes,
you are not to pay a single butut to anyone.
Yes, no one. If anybody asks you to pay, please tell the person that I'm not going to pay. And if anybody asks you that I will be able to recruit you to go to Spain, tell the person that you are lying. You cannot do it, because the problem is, the issue is that it is only government who is assigned to do that, according to the agreement, and we are not giving out that right to anybody, because we want to act within the agreement.
And because your passport has been accepted, does not mean that you have automatic passage to Spain.
No,
we have to make all all these things very clear.
Yeah, you have to go through the process, you know, from a pre-selection to the final selection, you know, and that's the time you'll know that you'll be able to go to Spain. You have to have your contract, everything that is required. You have to meet those requirements first before you can be able.
And how transparent will this be? Because already we heard you know, accusations flying about that NPP intends to use this, you know, to improve its chances of winning in 2026. Because yeah, I mean, how will this selection body shield itself from political influence?
No, I will assure you, we don't belong to any political party. You know, we belong to government.
Yeah, but your minister could put pressure on you, for instance.
No. My minister, thank God I don't have a minister like that. I don't know whether other ministers does that, but my minister, I can tell you, he has never even attempted to do that. You know, he's a very decent, you know, very fair and very, you know, gentle person. He doesn't involve in that, because we already have institutions that are competent to do that, and we allow those institutions to do their work without any political interference. And as I said, we also have a technical committee. You know, we have you know, very reputable people that are part of that committee that will support our labor departments to be able to do the recruitment fairly. And I also told you that the Spanish government will be involved. You know, the employers themselves will also be involved. Then it's going to be very transparent. Yeah. And what we will also do is we'll also assure you that any batch that is going, we're going to publish it to ensure that so that everybody knows that these are the people going. Then if you have not seen that starting, please don't give your money to anybody.
Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Lamin, thank you so very much for your time. It's Coffee Time with Peter Gomez with